Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at a game that may very well end up rivaling Armored Core 6 before it is even released. This game already has a fully playable demo with only minor things not included, and to be honest, the build menu with this game, as it's even part of the name of the game, M.A.S.S builder, so you gotta expect that the building system in this game is beyond what you would expect. And honestly, I think From Software would be hard pressed to beat this already. What I mean by that, let's take a look. But also, before that, I'd like to show that there, even though it isn't in the game yet, since this is the demo, but the game should be released not too far from now, most likely, it will have multiplayer. And not just co-op, but also PvP, I believe. There's nothing really on it right now, but I remember seeing that somewhere in here that you can play the campaign co-op, or you can play PvP, which I'm looking forward to, because just saying, they added in a weapon, as you can see, that I have always wanted in an Armored Core game, a lance. And this isn't the only weapon. There are any number of weapons. They have pile driver equivalents, big buster swords, your more traditional kind of setup, and plenty that aren't even in. Like, look at how many slots this has. And you can customize your weapons. Look at this. I can change how long it is. You can make this basically a pile driver, or you can make it a scythe. That's just the grip, but here. That's just in the assemble tab. I think there's a spot here somewhere for just change the weapon in its entirety. Gotta figure out where that is. 1 second. Okay, here you go. Each one has different slots, it looks like. Slot 1 and slot 0. Slot 0 seems to be the handle. Slot 1 seems to be the weapon. So we got spike, we got maces, we got lances, we got drills with animation. We got this thing. Got halberd blades. Just slap that on there. Probably can change his grip and make it into a halberd. No. Make some pretty cool close range melee weapons though. See, there you go, big old axe. At that point, you can have even more attachments. That was called the assaulter, so I assume you can hit people with it. We get a double axe. I don't even know what that is. Warhammer. Probably put 2 of those on and just slam the heck out of someone. Looks like you can make katanas. But let's see. Going back to this, I think my favorite set would probably end up being something like this. Probably don't even put anything on this. Figure out how to take it off. Alright, there, just put another one on. There you go. See if we can make the handle a little longer. No. All I do is mess it up. Alright, there we go. We got an effective scythe. So there you go. Great lances, scythes, you name it. They got Gatling guns in the game already. Just like the other thing, you can change how you're holding it. Change the gun itself. Different forms of barrels. Energy weapons. Various missiles. And honestly, I don't even know what these are. As you can see, I can already went through and played with the armor. You can go into that, and like I say, it's very in-depth. You can even adjust the joints. I haven't done that, so you can adjust, just get that little finite detail. You're fighting somebody, you gotta get that 6-foot energy. You gotta have them broad shoulders. Thick, with 2 C's. Just make them tall as all hell. Make them ready to slapbox somebody. And there you go. You'll be able to paint everything, add in decals. Take a look at this. It isn't just like Armored Core, you select a pre-designed head. You have the freedom to make this your own. So I have this little shredder style mask, and you can really do anything you want. You can have something with a horn on it, go for a more sleek look, more bulky look. I like to go for the more intimidating look. Kind of looks a little Gundam-y, but and not just the face, every single part of it. Like, it just blows me away. You know, the level of what you can do in this. And then you can see here I have this massive thrust, you know, kit on the back. It looks reminiscent to the one mission in Armored Core Francer with, you know, you got the overboost on you and you're running up on Spirit of Motherwill. And that's what I like. This one looks a little more minimalistic, but I like to look pretty intimidating, so put that on there. And multiple crotch pieces. I decided to go with the biggest, pointiest one, give them that big dick energy. And just in all the parts I ended up going with, real pointy, real horny dude. You can just select it and mirror it. You can have different parts for each side. Each individual part and sub part can be painted and decaled. Various little shoulder pieces. You can paint them. You can edit the style, edit the color. Throw that on there. Change the color if you want. Change the patterns. You know, throw that on there. Get a different camo. Then you can change the opacity, offset it, move it around, rotate it, and then scale it down. You want it real small, you want it real big. Get some kind of multicam pattern going on for you. If I just throw that on over there, throw it over here, there you go. All camoed out, ready to go. Personally, I just like to go for the traditional black. Even down to the arms. Like I said, every part. Not just, you don't get whole setups where you select, you know, in Armored Core you select an arm type and that's just what you got. This game lets you fully customize it, decal it as you want, and each individual joint, upper arm, elbow, you name it. The whole thing is customizable down to what's on your hand. I even made sure that I went with some little bit of spikes on it so that the little grinders on the palm, that way if you punch somebody, really rip into them. And make sure he had some pretty hefty thighs, legs, some spikes, make him look like he's real mean. If he kicked you, it'd really do some damage. Some fins on it for aerodynamics. You can do a lot, make him have a little spiky foot. You can just put it on one if you want, but went for a more mechanized look right there, spreading out the parts. You can also, didn't show it, but you can also change the glow, just like an Armored Core. And you can tune. So, like I said, you can tune, go in here, go your engine. Went through, right now only up to tier 3 is what you can get. So, you can kind of see over on the left hand side, there's going to be fully stats and everything. They mentioned that there's going to be a weight system, so like there you can see the weapons weight, armor weight, total weight. That's going to affect how much my drag and energy pull is. So if you went really light on the armors, I went pretty heavy, you could probably fly around a lot more. There is flight in this game. You'll be able to walk around on the ground, boost everywhere pretty hard, and depending on your energy you can maintain flight for short periods of time, which I thought was pretty cool. So probably just throw that on there for want the speed, and probably just throw some more speed stuff on there that I got. Just throw that on there because it's the one that's better. Just improve your operating system. This one I went with accuracy since I like to flail around in the sky and make my weapons more accurate while I'm trying to dodge. And what I did here is went for more accuracy. Okay, so you gotta rank up your architect level, it would look like. go. And already we're way more powerful. And you get this stuff through money in game by completing missions and probably eventually beating up other players. As you can see right now, they kind of in this demo make you fairly rich where you can buy almost anything. I'll show you what it looks like to buy things real quick. You just go your armor type, you know, and you build, and it'll take them out of time, take some money out of you, and boom, you have a new part. Still prefer this one. So right now they have a story, and when you're playing that as kind of like, you'll have anime chicks that'll pop up. You know, you'll go in. That's another thing. I really enjoy the launch system. Very reminiscent of Gundam here. And there you go. I just love that. It's very reminiscent of the old PlayStation 2 Gundam games I used to play growing up. Ooh, I got my scythe right there.
Mission start.
See, like I said, right now it's not voiced, has some anime chicks. Pull this dude out. You can either lock on and fire, or you can manually aim. Have an energy weapon as well. Have the missile pods. They have different elements. Those were shock. Those ones I just fire are freezing. And melee in this game has a sort of hack and slash feel. So I feel like it's going to be a more arcadey style play, but I do feel that it will be popular amongst the common populace, not only due to the mecha drought that we've been in the last decade, but also due to it being easier for lesser skilled players to get into. Project 6 will probably be where all the more hardcore players are pushed to on PC, and this will be for more of the casual player that I've seen. They do have these mobs you kind of fight, sort of alien monster kind of things, and bosses at the end of the levels, which are basically just health sponges, pretty much. Probably just go ahead and abort this mission. I'm not really trying to do a full mission playthrough. They're fairly lengthy, about 10-20 minutes, depending on how fast you play it. And you'll have a skill tree. See right here is your engine skill tree. You can only go up to tier 3, but it looks like it goes quite a ways. You can add a lot more health and damage. Operating system goes just as far. Same for architect. End up getting some kind of elemental buffs to have a lot of extra damage. This one has some more hack and slashy kind of feel, but I feel like while the campaign probably wouldn't be for me, depending on how the PvP turns out, this could be a real rival for Armored Core, because Armored Core has a very niche kind of setup, and it's hard for newer players to get into it due to when they first come in, they hop in multiplayer, and what do? They get stomped by the pros who are just no-lifing the game all day, every day, and then they just put the game back down. This game, it'll probably be a lot easier to get good, and probably maintain higher numbers and higher popularity over time, even if it isn't as good. When I say the game will be a good, strong rival for Armored Core, I don't mean that it will be better than Armored Core. What I'm saying is as far as monetary-wise and popularity and number of concurrent players-wise, it will most likely far outplay an Armored Core 6 unless From Software heavily drums down onto from the makers of Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro, which they're likely going to do. I think that's the main reason why we haven't seen an Armored Core 6 game in quite some time, is in this day and age it just doesn't make them any money, and they found a bunch of golden eggs in a system that works to keep consistently pushing up their popularity, as well as, you know, making lots of money. So I really expect the next Armored Core game to kind of play off that popularity to make it itself more popular, use a lot of the funds they have. The main guy who made Armored Core, through the years, he stopped making Dark Souls, and he had a few games that he was on the road to make. One of them ended up being Sekiro, and that's out now. So they've already stated that Armored Core 6 is in very early development, not really anything to show, but I assume that's likely his next project he's going to be working on. And judging by how he's handled the last few games and with the new technology probably be pretty good. I'm assuming it's going to skip a generation and go straight to PS5. No, he's probably not going to bother with PS4 because, and he'll probably end up doing a mixture of probably 4 to 3rd, maybe some 5th generation in there, and probably after seeing how 5 did compared to Verdict Day, they'll likely end up having the multiplayer system of 5, seeing as to how Armored Core 5 retained its multiplayer base far longer than Verdict Day as far as numbers go, simply because you could own territories and it gave teams a reason to keep coming back other than, oh well, what's this week's what's our rank this week, and then it just gets reset a week later. It really gave no reason for long time players to come back, and a lot of big clans abandoned the game after the first few months because they really had no reason to keep playing, and there really wasn't anything for little teams to do because there wasn't anything for them to fight for. They just went in multiplayer and got stomped. And yeah, and they didn't really go into free battle either because only generally better players hung out there, and they just beat the snot out of a noob and then they just leave. Same in Conquest, so they likely will keep the the team-based system, the clan-based system that seemed to be very popular. People really enjoyed that, and the community has its own different subgroups within it, so I feel like they'd enjoy keeping that. And yeah, I really just can't get over the weapons though. This game has a lot to offer. Lances, scythes, Armored Core, Armored Core 6 really needs to step up its game. People like variety, and that's one of the main things that people loved about Armored Core is that it's one of the best mech fighting games out there. Has the perfect balance of everything, and most generations bring their own flavor to the the table. And one of the biggest things people liked was the sheer amount of how much you could customize it. But it looks like this game is gearing it already in a demo with a 10th, probably not even a 10th of what it's going to bring to the table, is already outplaying a lot of that. Like I said, don't expect it to be better than Armored Core 6, but I do expect this game to peak out much higher than Armored Core 6. It won't have the hardcore fans that stay with it 5-10 years down the line, but it's gonna definitely burn a lot brighter in those first few years after it releases, unless From Software really doubles down on the media campaign for the upcoming game and really hypes it up. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Tell me in the comments below what you think. Do you think this game's going to perform better than Armored Core 6? Do you think Armored Core 6, after seeing games like this and other games trying to fill the void, that they're going to really ramp it up on the customizability and parts? May, add more types of parts? What do you think they're going to do? Let me hear your thoughts on all this down in the comments section below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you're gonna get the notification that I've posted a video, because otherwise, the way YouTube algorithm works right now, if you don't hit that notification bell, you're not guaranteed to see my videos at all, if you're not really actively watching Mecha. So, yeah, that's about it. See ya.